30 little bit of time. 1 little bit of time. 2 little bit of time. 3 little bit of time. 4 little bit of time. 5 little bit of time.
God, I don't know why we decided to make that thing. It's driving me fucking crazy!
Well, you have to know what time it is. You can't just go about not knowing what time it is.
Why didn't we make a clock?
He is a clock.
Well, he's a fucking annoying one. Is it not getting on your nerves? Constantly hearing this man go on and on. 1 little bit of time. 2 little bit of time.
3 little bit of time. Oh, you made him lose count.
He's worthless. I'm sick of these sex goblins, too. They're fucking disgusting.
2 little bit of time.
They're fucking disgusting, just sitting here sucking each other off. Jerking off every spare second they got. Ew! Ew! Don't touch me!
I kind of like them.
You like them?
Yeah.
Well, why don't you just go create your own reality already? I'm tired of this.
Well, we just started this one. You can't just give up that easy.
Control-Alt motherfucking delete, Artie.
Goodbye.
No!
Control-Alt delete it.
Why did you get rid of everything?
Do you want to live in this world for eternity? Obsidian? With goblins? This could be anything.
You're right. Maybe this was for the best. I had already gotten into a very deep relationship with one of the 6 goblins, and she was pregnant with one of my children, and...
What? Why are you just now telling me this?
Well, of course, I was gonna keep it from you forever. I was gonna take it to my 2nd grave.
So why are you telling me now? Why didn't you keep that to yourself?
You deleted it, so the problem's solved.
You know I'm a sex fiend. I could have been hooking up with one of them goblins this whole time.
That's what they were for.
I thought we made them hook up with each other and for us to enjoy to watch.
Well, we did, but... I mean... Do we need to get remarried or something? I mean, like, are you going to divorce me, or...
No, I'm gonna summon a motherfucking Pegasus, and I'm gonna flap away.
No, what are you... Wait!
Why, Artie?
Alright, let's see. Okay. I'm going to make a very nice man cave because Brenda never let me, and so I'd like to walk down these stairs, and all along the wall will be NASCAR memorabilia, and there will be a printout of Dale Earnhardt and the New York Times article about his death, and all sorts of, yes, okay, and then there's like a endless wall of beer. No, I know, the Speedway beer cave is attached to my man cave, and it's always stocked, and there's a lovely recliner, yes, and just a ginormous flat screen TV and the DVD box set of Friends. Okay. Now this is my heaven. So no one told you life was gonna be. What?
Is that Friends?
Yeah, watching Friends!
You made Friends?
Well, oh my god, I did make Friends.
Can I come watch it with you?
Well, be honest with you, it's a man cave. So...
Artie, what the fuck is this?
This is my man cave.
Your entire universe that you're sitting here creating is just one room with a staircase. You had a whole universe to build and you made a room with a DVD player? You don't even need it.
You gotta start somewhere. I mean, you can't build the whole universe in one... Look, we tried to build the whole universe in the 1 second in the last time, and we laid down a whole thing of obsidian and planted grass seeds on it. So I'm just trying to take it a little slower this time, I guess.
Well, I guess I kind of see that. Okay, so, just a few little details. I'm going to build a staircase down.
From the man cave?
From the man cave.
Oh.
And I'm going to put a bathroom down here for you. You're going to need to evacuate your bowels if you're taking some sort of human form.
I guess you're right. Yeah, that's nice.
But
and
do
in
you
the
think
bathroom...
that maybe in the bathroom we could decorate it with seashells and make it ocean-themed? I think it would look really nice ocean-themed. Like, look at this. Okay, I'm going to put a starfish here.
Oh, I mean, it's cute. It's like a starfish soap dish.
Yeah. You like it?
I mean, it's cute, but look at this. This is one that looks like an ashtray with a whole bunch of butts and cigarettes in it. But it's a soap dish. That's sort of my style.
I mean, I could get behind that. I mean, that's how we grew up on that sort of thing.
Well, maybe we can compromise on something for the back of the toilet. What were you thinking? I was thinking one of those things that looks like a spilled ice cream cone.
Oh, I like that idea. Maybe we could, you think maybe we could have a bidet?
Oh, yeah,
but
absolutely.
Like a super bidet that's like a fireman's hose that would shoot straight up your ass, right through. The water would come through your mouth. It'd go so hard up your ass.
Well, I'm all for it as long as there's a lighter setting for just, spraying of the asshole for when it just has poop on it, but I'm all down for the higher setting too.
Okay, that's okay. You got yourself a deal. Now, where's my room?
Well,
I don't see any room for me.
Well, come here, right up here. Okay, right this way, past the bar, past the beer cave.
God, I got something in my eye.
Now,
Did you spawn that went in my eye?
Well, it's a basement, so it's very dusty. Sorry.
You put dust?
Well, yes. But now, okay, come up here, right up this staircase, see if you come up here.
Sawdust on the floors, really?
Right up here to the top of the staircase is the rest of the universe, which, of course, as you know, is absolutely nothing, so... I guess we could start right here.
Okay.
What, you want to build a house?
Okay, yeah, let's build, let's put, like, the White House right here, I mean.
Oh, okay, my man cave is underneath the White House, okay,
I kind of like that idea. Oh my God, it's beautiful.
I know. I can't believe it's so stunning.
And how about right next to it, the Great Pyramid of Giza?
Oh my God, yes, we're like turning it into a sort of like new Las Vegas Strip.
Yeah, there's no reason we couldn't recreate the old world and then completely manipulate it.
The real Eiffel Tower.
You know what? All of these things are missing, Artie.
What?
People.
You're right. Should we try to make another species? I mean, it didn't go so well last time with the sex goblins.
I mean, maybe we can make, like, a better version of a human.
A better version?
A better version of a human. Maybe we can make them have tails like you always told me you wish I had.
Oh, I do wish you had a sweet little tail to wag like a little doggy.
Yo, look at this. I'm wagging one. I just grew it.
Oh, that's so cute. Let's see if we can try to make another. Okay. Let me just stretch and crack my back a little bit.
You got this, baby.
I'm going to try to put the woman at the... I'm going to try to get the nice couple at the top of the Eiffel Tower proposing. Oh!
Hi, baby.
Hey, how you... This is so beautiful, baby.
I know.
Can't you just see that Great Pyramid of Giza right there?
I never knew it was so close. Just like I never knew we'd be so close when we met in youth group.
You know, they say that if you put a lock right here, this part right here of the Eiffel Tower, that'll lock your love for all of eternity. And I want to
Oh,
sit
yeah.
here and take this
Yeah.
master lock
Mhm.
that represents our love, Emily.
Mhm.
And I'm going to put it right here.
Oh my God.
Emily,
Chester.
you have made me the happiest man in the whole world. And I can't imagine my life without you. I just couldn't think there'd be a better time to propose right here in the Eiffel Tower. Give me a fucking break.
I just can't believe it works. They have a fully realized existence up there. Do you think it's just going to like keep repeating, or like what's going to happen with them?
I don't know. It kind of looks like they're trying to consummate the marriage up there. What the fuck is that? Hey!
What?
Don't look at her, Emily. Don't look at her.
I want to see.
All that matters is us right here. Get the fuck down! You, right here! Right now!
They're disrespecting the Eiffel Tower.
God will not be fucked with!
Oh,
What do you think you're doing, young lady?
I can't believe you just teleported us up to the top of the Eiffel Tower, Brenda. It's so beautiful up here.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Awful lot of nothing in this universe, though, still.
Can we help you guys?
Oh, hey, we're God.
Yeah, we created you. You're fucking disgusting. And God is not pleased with you.
You are defiling the Eiffel Tower, which in the real universe would never go.
You know what? In our universe, me and Artie would totally do this sort of thing, but like, this is the world we made. And I can't.
Only we are allowed to have
This-
sex.
There's 4 people that exist right now. Me, you, and Artie. And that guy. I'm Marcus.
Oh. I don't remember what we said my name was. It's Emily. He fucked the brain out of me. He's fucking the brain out of me.
Oh my god, it's like everything we create is in our image.
Yeah, well, I guess that would make sense about what they said about the real God then. Well, I guess we are the real God now, but you know what I'm saying.
Artie, we gotta completely rewrite this. These fucking things are disgusting. But I don't want to kill them because we're just gods.
Yeah, it's better if we just start over, I guess.
Okay, well maybe we could. I like what we got now, but maybe we could just like, you know, the Great Pyramid of Giza's right here. Let's put a desert down,
Yeah, that's nice.
and let's
We got
just plop these people right down there in the desert.
And they can start the desert community?
I doubt they'd survive. Let's just put them in the harshest of circumstance. I don't think that's really a good idea, God.
I don't care. We can fuck in the desert.
Emily, you're kind of being a slut.
I'm sorry? Marcus?
You've been a slut ever since I've met you.
Well, Marcus, you
sorry,
told me your name was Chester when we met, so I don't even know who you are.
Ow! Emily. Guys, can you just kill her?
Yeah, why not?
Fuck that bitch!
Oh my god, you got there before I could even make a decision.
I kind of like you, Marcus. Listen, I know there's not much to do around here. You know, if you ever like feeling lonely, you know, wanting that thick hard cock pumped, I'm right here. Are you offering me to have sex with you, God?
No, she is not.
Excuse me, and who are you?
I'm God as well.
You're also God?
Technically, I am the only one here with the power to make people, so I am actually God.
And what happens to me if I die?
Well, that's unclear.
Oh my god!
I really did not expect Marcus to kill himself. I thought he was going to become the head of some great race of Egyptians.
What? Why is the world so shitty that we don't have any people now?
Maybe we have to spend more time working on like all of the destinations and all of the things that make the world habitable before we try to populate it with people, because I guess it's kind of like when you play The Sims and all you want to do is make your Sims cheat on each other and fuck.
Yeah, but is that the world we want to live in?
No, but I guess we have to make it better than that.
I don't know how to create a world.
I don't either. It was so much easier just to exist in the one that they already had created.
But I mean, it kind of seems like we create, like, if we're here now, that means we probably created the last one. But, like, you think if we did, we'd remember.
Right, I don't remember making any of that nonsense.
I don't either, but whoever made it, like, was kind of cool. It was a pretty cool world.
Well, you know, they said that it was all part of a Big Bang, so, like, maybe we just have to figure out how to do something like that.
Oh, we just create a Big Bang?
Yeah, you have any ideas of how to do that?
I mean, we could inflate ourselves to the biggest possible size that would fit in these quadrants of the universe, and then we could just we could have a Big Bang, and when you come inside of me, maybe that's the kind of birth of the universe we need.
Maybe if it comes from, like, love and from our seed and...
Yeah, then maybe if, like, I would have some sort of fertility. And when I gave birth, I would give birth to the cosmos.
Now that could be something. That could be something. We might as well try it.
Okay. Ooh, I know you've always had a giant fetish.
Oh yeah, I am ballooning.
A balloon that fucking clock inside me, Artie. I've been waiting for you all day. Oh, put a universe in me, Daddy.
I'm going to fill you with the universe, baby.
Oh.
Oh, 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 oh.
Oh.
Oh. I'm gonna keep my thumb inside. Put your legs up.
Oh. Just like before.
Hello and welcome to MOATAIF. Gravy. Oh god, I'm gonna throw up. That's right, folks. It's another list episode. Not that we do too many list episodes.
I don't think there could be too many list episodes. It's a good way to fill up some
Exactly.
gravy. You know, it's a good gravy recipe.
I completely agree. And this one is we kind of talked about after the show is interesting in the fact that if you're listening, beginning to end, you might hear some familiar stories because we are recounting the top 5 favorite moments of working at the Upper Valley Mall in Springfield, Ohio.
Yeah, and me and Zach kind of realized when we were talking about this after the last show that we started MOATAIF while we were working at the Upper Valley Mall. So like you said, if you listen from beginning to now, we might like talk about some of these stories again, but it's 5 years later. Six.
Right. So it'll be interesting to see what has maintained in our memory. Obviously, there are a lot of stories that come to mind when I think of like Pretzel Maker, and if I think of like customers, and like there are so many different things that could come up if we added like stipulations to the list. But just the top 5 mall memories brought up some interesting things for me. Anyway, number 5 for me is emergency drills.
Emergency drills.
Yes. When there were a few times, 2 instances in particular, where Bree and myself ran emergency drills when we worked at Pretzel Maker. The first was...
In case of like what?
Well, the first was when Con, who worked at Purcell Now Touch at the time, came up and he told us that his pastime was disassembling and learning how to disassemble and learning how to like reassemble airplanes and that kind of thing. So we came up with this horribly bad scenario that what if Khan
decided to suicide bomb the mall.
An Indian man.
Yeah. And yeah. And so we went, because of course it was so boring to work at the Upper Valley Mall because nobody was ever there, because it was dying then 6 years ago, and it's even more dead now. But there were no customers, so Bree and I were just like having this like long, discussion about what would happen if Khan came up, and he was like, you guys weren't supposed to be here today. I thought you guys were off today. And we're like, what do you mean? He's like, there's a bomb going off in 30 seconds. And
oh my God, these are the situations you're talking about? Are you like legitimately entertaining these ideas?
No, it was all fun and games, honestly. We were so bored, but I swear to God, we literally went through a disaster scenario where it happened, where like we pretended that he just said it to us as we're working. And he's like, you have 30 seconds to get out of the building. And we literally like turned the lights off, sprinted
Go down
through
like the service hallway.
Yeah, down the service hallway, of course, laughing our asses off the whole time, because it was just so fucking hilarious. And there was a second time that we did it. This time involving Hannah Benton as well, Hannah Campbell Benton, and there was a customer at Pretzel Maker who attempted to pay with a $100 bill, which recurring theme at Pretzel Maker was that we didn't have enough change, so we could constantly only accept bills less than $20.
Right.
And of course we had a sign up at the
request
time.
ones and fives.
Right. We had a sign up at the time that said we cannot accept bills larger than $20, and he tried to pay for like, a $5 order with a $100 bill. And he's like, I was rolling bites, and Hannah politely told the man that, we couldn't accept the $100 bill. But at the time, there was a bank right across the way in the mall. She's like, so you could go over there and cash it, and have them break it, because it's a bank.
Right.
He decided to read the $100 bill to us, and says, this is for valid tender for all debts, public and private. So you're refusing service? He went on this he was like pissed, and eventually he just left. So we ran another disaster drill, wherein this man,
Republican wanted to come kill you guys.
Yeah, exactly. Where this angry Republican pulled a gun and tried to kill us, and this scenario we ran multiple times. There was one time where he like pulled the gun. And, like, because of where I was at the rolling station, I got, like, shot in the back.
Oh, my God.
So, like, I, fell on the ground. They're, like, running out. Oh, it was so much fun.
That sounds like fun.
I think it just exemplifies one of the best parts about working at the mall was that nobody was ever there, and we could do literally whatever we wanted. And so most of the time going into work was literally just having fun with my friends.
Yeah, of course, we didn't realize that at the time, but yeah, we could do anything.
Right.
And, a lot of points while we were there, we got really ballsy because there was nobody there to catch us, ever.
Right.
And we're like, what, like 20 years old? 19, 20 or something like that. Like, we had no fucking respect for anything.
Nope. And it
None
was
at
so
all.
Fun. It was so fun.
It was fucking fun as hell. My number 5 is kind of tricky because I was trying to Google at some point the statute of limitations in Ohio, because this next one's illegal, but it's my number 5, folks, and yes, I'm admitting to a crime. If you want to come prosecute me after the fact,
I think I know what I think I know what you're gonna mention.
I don't think you know what I don't. Probably not specifically what you think I'm gonna mention.
Okay.
My number 5 is stealing from.
Yep.
Because I don't know how much detail I want to get into, but there was a lot of merchandise taken. But specifically, I really am happy I did it because that's where I got my first dildo. And I realized I really liked butt stuff. And I got, a nice dildo and some batteries and shit. And that's, I think it's one of the coolest fucking things I've ever done. And when I talk about it today, I'm like, yeah, I just took a backpack in there and I just put a bunch of shit. Like I like really upplay it, like it was really cool. I was just like, nobody was gonna stop me.
It was honestly really cool. Like, and I don't think about it often, but as soon as you said it, I knew exactly what you were talking about because it is an iconic moment.
Like that night was so fun because we're like, hey, bring your book bags. Or something.
Right.
Like, we like planned it that we were gonna do this like whole big fucking spree or whatever. Like we could just take anything. And they're like, yeah.
And we did, including like candy,
dildos.
merch.
Oh yeah. Because if you want to come for me, feds, it was all right because the main manager at the time was faking all of the inventory because they themselves were stealing.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's how we got away with it.
Oh. Oh.
All of the inventory was being fudged.
I see. So it's just like whatever.
Yeah, it's kind of a victimless crime. I mean, they were going to go down for it anyway.
I used that insider knowledge to hit that store up for socks after we no longer worked at the mall. So.
Did you really?
Yeah, I think you were there. Not to make you an accomplice, but I think you. I
feel like I remember that. You're just like,
Yeah.
let's just go in there. We would just go in, walk out. It was so
Right.
exhilarating.
Yep, truly was. And if that all wasn't censored, man. Number 4 for me ties in very well to the at least underlying theme of your number 5, which is theft. For me, it is the bouncy ball obsession.
The bouncy ball obsession.
Which of course led to the thievery of those bouncy balls.
That to me was fucking hilarious.
We in the amazing space, of course, there was there were 2 bouncy ball machines, and was it like $1 for a bouncy ball or 50 cents? I can't remember. Either way, one or the other.
It was like 75 cents or something. The big bouncy balls were like coveted. They might have been $1.
Well, and there was one machine where you had to like play baseball with the ball, like not it was like a pinball machine, but you like batted it.
You would get it no matter what. But.
Right. And then there was the other one that was just like a gumball machine but full of bouncy balls. And I don't know why. I think it's just because we started going to the amazing space. We'd go to the mall even on our days off and just wander around and stumble into shit. And we just started always having bouncy balls with us, bouncing them. It was especially when JT worked with us too. We'd walk through the mall just bouncing balls everywhere.
We would try to see like how we would get them, like we would bounce them as high as we fucking possibly could, or try to bounce them from like one end of the mall to the other, which was like really bad, but like again, nobody was there to stop us. I mean, the mall cops, there was like
sometimes we would do it at night. We would do it after the mall was closed. I distinctly remember you and JT throwing, like after we had closed our store, just like throwing the bouncy ball back and forth like the entire length of the Upper Valley Mall.
And we just knew there were no security cameras or anything. Like, what the fuck was anybody ever gonna do?
Right.
Just waiting for Hannah and Nicholas to close Spencer's or whatever, or wherever we stayed after for so long.
Right.
And they were almost always the last ones out. Maybe like, yeah, the Journeys people left pretty on time or sometimes late. But I mean, my favorite part about that is the fact that we got to like the big gumball machine type. We just actually at one point just came and took a box cut or two and just started. We got it just big enough to stick your hand in.
Yep. Yeah. So it was there was one ball in particular in there. All the balls were the similar ones. They had like, I was looking at them just today. My whole collection of bouncy balls.
Oh yeah, you still have a bunch, don't you?
Yeah. The whole collection still sits right there under my TV. It's a nice little display piece. But it had, there's so many different like mosaic patterns. They kind of look like, like Picasso paintings on some of them. There's some that look like the Monster Energy logo with just like bright neon colors on black. A lot of swirls, that kind of thing. But there was one ball in particular that reigned supreme, and it sat at the top of this machine, and it was a clear ball with like flecks of confetti in it. Is like the best way I can describe it.
I know which one you're talking about.
And I had to have it. But the nature of the machine was such that it would probably be $300, you know, to get every single ball, because it was at the top of the thing and it sucked them all from the bottom.
Right.
The only way we
would
were
sit
ever
there and
gonna get
we
it.
would go after, like, during work on our breaks or whatever. We would just go and just like, I want that one. Like, wouldn't that be so cool to have that one? Like,
Right.
We would never get that. We would never. It only took like a week of us doing that, being like, "This just fucking like." I bet we could just cut this. Like, look at it. It's just
Right.
We can push our finger into it. We could probably
Right.
get this open.
So we go to Claire's, where we had an inside source, and we got the box cutter from that inside source.
From the inside, right? Okay, for their personal
and
protection.
I went back over there and with another inside source as my lookout. We inserted the box cutter in there and just a jagged slice in the back of this thing. And I shove my hand up inside there and I grab and I feel that clear ball with the flecks of confetti in it, that we've been yearning for
Right.
for like all this time. And I go to take my hand out and it's stuck because now I'm holding a
But
ball.
you just got like the best ball.
Yeah, and I'm like, I'm not gonna let go. And I don't know if our scout said that somebody was coming or if I just got nervous because like my hand is stuck in the back of a machine that I'm stealing
In the middle
a ball
of the mall.
from. But the only thing I could do was yank my hand out, which absolutely just marred my hand. Just absolutely.
Yeah, you got really fucked up.
Cut and scraped the hell out of my hand on that jagged plastic. So our solution was to get pretzel maker's tongs and go back with a big ass cup.
Yo, that is how we did it. We got a big, large cup to put the money. We just started extracting balls.
Somebody, I don't know who, literally held the piece of plastic open while we went in with the tongs and just went, "You want this one? You want this
That was
one?"
so fucking cool. And then afterwards, we just fucking like turned the machine slightly so that nobody would
Right.
notice. And then they
And
didn't for
they
months.
didn't for the longest time, and they even refilled it.
Yeah, they came back, refilled it, and never noticed that there was a cut in it. Eventually, they did though, and then they hauled off the machine.
Mm-hmm.
They just
And
put
now-
it away and didn't bring it back.
Now, and not only due to COVID, but just in general, the amazing space is closed. So a
Yeah,
moment of
I was
silence.
there recently, and there's nothing there.
Yeah, I don't know if it was the time when we went together, but I was just thinking about that too. When I was just there in December, it was. It seems like since then it's like fallen into disrepair. Like it was like sad to see how even
The entire
more
mall.
dead it is. Yeah.
Yep. Nobody there. Like maybe 4 stores.
And
5.
genuinely, they were all there for Pretzel Maker.
Yeah, genuinely, or Mark Pie.
Right.
But you know, I remember another story with the bouncy balls, which I wrote down in mine, and that's when we were playing with them in the back, and when we played with them in the service hall, we would just bounce those fuckers like crazy. We would try to hit them as hard as we could, like hit them off the floor and the ceiling.
Yeah, because it was like all just concrete, like cinder blocks.
Yeah, like, there's no risk, so we would just yank them down that hall. And I remember the people who ran Ravenwood or whatever it is. Raven Books. They got pissed. But I don't even remember what made them get pissed.
Well, it's not. We were kind of harassing, not really harassing them, but definitely harassing them.
Banging the balls against their door?
Well, we were playing. I remember the day specifically that they like complained about. We had been throwing like ice in the hallway and like, like just being loud and like just throwing.
We would go back
balls.
there and like scream.
Right.
Just go back there specifically to scream.
So yeah, eventually they did complain.
Well, you
But
have
that's
to
my
do it
number
to 'em.
4, the bouncy ball obsession.
My
And I
number.
still get to look at it every day.
I'm jealous of you. I wish I had like a relic of that sort of thing. I have my old name badge, which is like
I do too.
I can't complain about that.
Mine's on my fridge. It makes me. It's like a fridge magnet, nice and.
Mine could go in my
memorabilia.
fridge, but I have it in a memory box.
That's a good place for it.
Yeah, because honestly, if it was on my fridge, it would probably get lost just because it's
Right.
in my
You
house.
slam the fridge. You slam the freezer and it falls off, and then kick it under the fridge and never see it again.
Yep, never even think to look for it.
Right.
My number 4 has to do with a common theme that I'm noticing, which is violence. But my number 4 is the time a customer threatened to kill Bree.
Oh.
Were you there
Is
for
this
that one?
the lemonade man?
Yeah, this man.
Yep.
Me and Bree. I think it's just me and Bree working that day.
No, I was there.
Oh, you were there too?
Yeah, I was, because I had just clocked in, and he asked me about it, and I went and got Bree.
This
And then
man.
that's when Bree took over.
It was Martin Luther King Day.
Mm-hmm.
So sometime in September, is that when it is?
March. I'm gonna look
Oh,
it
I'm
up
way
so we don't look, MLK Day.
February.
It's January 18th.
January.
It's tomorrow.
Oh my God, that's
It's
tomorrow.
fucking tomorrow.
Weird.
Oops. Sorry, Martin.
But yeah. So this man, it was Martin Luther King Day. This man was obviously I don't know how to put it tastefully, of color.
Mm-hmm.
Is that
He was a
tasteful?
young black man.
Yeah, and he was in.
I think probably in high school.
Reeked of weed. I remember.
Mm-hmm.
And at this point, we're all very anti-drug, anti-marijuana. And he starts complaining because he said that on the website or something, obviously making up a lie, that he's like, I don't get a 10%, I don't get a 20% discount from Martin Luther King Day. And we're like, no. And he's like, well, it said it on Facebook. And we're like,
Right.
no, we don't have anything like that going on. And even if the company did, we're a franchise and we don't do that. And so this guy gets fucking livid. And him and Bree start having like a back and forth, if you will, where Bree was being honestly a pretty stand-up manager, being very professional with him, just clearly explaining that we don't do that.
It's all coming back to me now. I'm remembering the day more clearly. You and I came in to relieve Bree and Whitney, who were the morning shift that day. And this is happening right at the shift change. Bree has this whole argument with that guy. And then eventually they leave, right? Like he leaves at first, right? Because I know he keeps coming back.
I think so. Maybe he was like looking for a refund or something.
And I think she gave him the refund, and she was like, yeah, because he's like, I'm going to go down to Charlie's. That's what it was. He's like, I'm going to go down to Charlie's. They have better lemonade anyway. Give me my money back. She gave him the refund and left. And then they left. She and Whitney left. Because originally we thought that was going to be the end of it. She's like, tell me if he comes back. And he walked back by, and he's like, I got my motherfucking lemonade. And then said something like, I don't remember how the threat came out, but that's when I remember hiding in the back with you while the security was dealing with it.
Yeah, dude, it was fucking like I remember him at some point throwing a lemonade all over Bree.
Oh.
And then I think that's when you and I went straight to the back.
Yeah.
And we were like, we're not going to deal with this. He starts like yelling and shit. Yeah, the mall security. At some point, he was threatening, like, I'm going to blow this whole motherfucking place up. Something like that.
And then he said he was going to get his mom, who was in Victoria's Secret or Bath and Body Works or something
you're
like
right.
that.
He said something about how he was going to shoot her.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly,
they
fucking
kept
crazy.
escorting him out of the mall, and he kept coming back in, and we kept calling Eddie and being like, he's back.
Oh, yeah, and we were, like, kind of scared because, like, we don't want to get off and, like, him be waiting on us, or
Right.
and Bree was trying to leave. So I'm pretty sure at some point, like, Eddie had to, like, walk her out to her car. It was kind of, it was kind of scary.
It was kind of scary.
But
I do remember that.
That's
I remember
violence at Pretzel Maker.
we shut down, and you and I were hiding in the back with the lights off until they told us he was out of the building. For our own safety, not because, I mean, we were afraid, but for our safety.
Right.
Yeah. That did not make my list, but that is certainly a dark moment. That is.
It's hard. I don't know. I guess it's top 5 mall memories.
Yeah. No, there's nothing wrong with it. It's certainly a.
Nobody said it had to be good.
I think if it was if I had like a top 10 mall memories, I think that would probably make the list. It just didn't make my top 5, for sure.
Right.
Number 3 for me goes back to another theme of just general disrespect for the mall. And that is our tradition and nightly ritual of throwing things on the mall roof. I don't even know how it started, but we would take the trash out every night, and just there were like some things that physically needed to be thrown away because Bree would go through these stages of cleaning out the little attic that was above the freezer. And there would be so much like physical stuff that needed to be thrown away.
Just weird shit, like weird
old pizza cutters and salt and pepper shakers and menu signs and application holders, shit like that. Just all this random mess that would fill up a trash can with like 2 items, so we would have to take it out by hand. Most of that stuff ended up on the roof of the Upper Valley Mall.
I don't even know how it started. I think just one night we're like, you think we could get this up there? And we tried like 5 times. Like we all kept passing around like, ugh. And then eventually we got it up and we're like, oh my god! And like we all got so fucking hyped up, like laughing our asses off.
We took one of those old choppers, I remember, and like that we used to chop up all the bites, and we like used it like a tomahawk, and it like
we tomahawked that shit up there.
Sometimes they would explode. They would like hit the wall and be like ping, and we'd like freak out.
We'd all run because we didn't want it to fall back on us.
Well, yeah, of course, that too. And it was so, it was so fun.
And then it was so cathartic at the end of like every bad shift. We'd be like, let's go fucking throw something up there. Let's just find something.
Yep, exactly. I was gonna say eventually it turned to what can we throw tonight? We
would like on our like off time, we would just look around the store to try to like we threw away stuff that probably should have been thrown away for sure.
we don't use that. Let's throw it on the roof.
Right, or I bet this one I bet we could get, because it was a challenge to get stuff up there because it was pretty high. So like we had to find things that would like we thought we could realistically get up there. Yeah. We got pretty good at it. I remember I had this nice like over my head approach where I just go and then get it up there. It was fun.
It was exhilarating, and like part of for me what made it so fun was like, especially after Hannah and Nicholas moved to Spencer's and Claire's, we would close Pretzel Maker, and we would have like a bunch of stuff to throw up on the roof. And we'd wait for them to close their stores, and when they closed, we'd all go out in the back and just throw shit on the roof for like 2 or 3 like weeks solid at a time. It was so much fun. That's the real underlying theme, is that it was just fun to fuck around with our friends.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, that's the entire theme of this gravy. My number 3 is the bouncy balls.
Oh, okay.
So
I'm glad that also made an impression. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Number 2 for me is really an iconic moment for me and one of the most exhilarating probably of my life. And that was trespassing with Bree in the Great American Cookie Company, the former Great American Cookie Company store.
I didn't participate in this one, but I always enjoy hearing the story.
This was a time when we were very into trespassing as safely and as legally as possible. We certainly weren't breaking into any place literally, but Bree and I were working on like some slow day of the week, and
you did this while at work.
Yeah. And we went down to maybe it was when the mall was closed. Maybe it was when we were all closed because the water mains were down or something like that. Maybe we weren't actually open, but for some reason we didn't have anything to do. And we were just walking around the mall, and it's always been so tempting because the Great American Cookie Company storefront as it is right there, is just a counter.
Yeah.
Just like Pretzel Maker, you could easily jump over the front of it. And we did. And we went straight into the back, which was unlocked, through the sliding door, and like turned the lights on and looked all through the back. It was so exhilarating. We were having the time of our life back there, just being like, wow, look at this. Oh my God, the bathroom. Oh, look at all this. This is like so big. Imagine if we moved Pretzel Maker down here. That's literally all we were doing. I look out the front window, because there's a window, of course, in the little sliding door and swinging door, and there's a lady on her phone pointing in there and like talking about clearly like gesturing that about us.
See, I always thought at the time when you guys said that you guys were just being paranoid, but was she actually like saw you guys?
Well, because we deduced, because there's that the former Old Navy, which is now the batting cages, and there was a practice going on at the time, and there had been people sitting out there, so like
you
easily
guys jumped
she
it
saw
right
us.
in front of people.
Well, I mean, they were in the thing, so like if they had been paying attention as they possibly should have been, there was no reason they would have noticed us. But yeah, it was like in broad daylight. There was no reason for us to suspect that we had, the clearance to do it.
Right. Ever.
And we just instantly went into flight mode and sprinted. I've never ran so fast in my life, down the back hallway, out the side, around to the other door, and back into Pretzel Maker, where we sat there like hyperventilating, laughing for easily 20 to 30 minutes, because it was so exhilarating. And that's the number 2 for me.
That's interesting. See, really good overlap, because my number 2 is also trespassing in general, but I think specifically finding that super secret fucking huge back room of the mall where they kept all their inventory.
That's my number 1.
That's your number 1?
Yeah. That's so iconic to me. It gives me goosebumps just thinking about it.
We had been trying to get into this room for a while, or we fantasized about it, and it had a lock on it, right?
Yeah, well, because it was in the Amazing Space. It was like just this.
Yeah, we spent so much time in there stealing bouncy balls.
Unsuspecting door at the back of the Amazing Space that just had like one of those basic gate padlock things, barely screwed into it. I mean, it was so intriguing, because it's one of the reasons was we wanted to know if there were security cameras in there. We didn't think there were, but I mean, there were physically those big black bulbs that were supposed to be security cameras, but obviously, so we just thought that it was like a little, where the person, if this was not the Amazing Space, that's just the back room where this storefront would hide from customers.
Right.
But we wanted to see it. And
it was tantalizing, because it's like, what is back there?
Right. We got a flathead screwdriver and wedged it into the part that was attached to the door frame, and easy as 1, 2, 3.
Yeah,
easy as 1, 2, 3. It came open. And I remember that was the first discovery. I opened the door and I saw what we'll get into, but I closed the door, because I remember I did this with JT at the time, I think, and I ran to go and get you, because I'm like, you have to see this right now.
I remember you doing that.
I'm like, you have to see this right now. I was like shaking. There was so much
I'm sitting there going
energy.
like, you did what? You got the lock off?
Yeah, right.
Oh shit.
We get all the way in there, and first of all, just the simple act of going in there and closing the door and not knowing if there would be somebody coming to find us was...
Or just, my fear was that anybody back there in general.
Right. We didn't know where it all connected to.
No.
It was the most surreal thing that I can remember to this day, which is why it made my number 1. We open this door, which is just connected to the Amazing Space. And it's like hallways and dressing rooms and mirrors and
It was huge.
All the Christmas storage, but like the Christmas storage was like in a big cage. It was so weird.
And it's just, we talked about this at the time a lot, because it's just like we would never have guessed that would have been hiding in the mall. Because I think like our mental map of the mall was spaced out completely. Like we knew where every store was. I don't think we ever could have conceived that something like that could have been in there.
No, it
let alone the
absolutely
contents.
blew my mind. And it was so long. It wasn't just behind the Amazing Space. It spanned
Like
multiple
3
stores.
Yeah, and I remember when we went back there too, we were trying to be so quiet, and we're like sneaking around. We're seeing all this like random shit that you're talking about. We're just kind of like, what? Like, I was scared shitless.
There's like busted mannequins. Like, it was so weird. And there were just like so many like old computers, and it was like abandoned dressing rooms. It was so weird. Like that, the only way I can describe it is it was just weird. And the whole time I felt like, what else is hidden in this mall?
Right. It felt like maybe it shouldn't even exist.
Yeah.
And we just kind of walked into like an alternate dimension almost.
Mm-hmm. And it was so weird because like I can't. Do you have like the image of the walls kind of being like they were kind of like beige, but they almost looked like not real. Like they were just like fake walls back there, like as if it was like kind of the walls that they use to, like for example, the wall that is now where Great American Cookie Company used to be. They've just put a wall in front of it.
Yeah, that was always weird how they did that.
Yeah.
Just bricked over top of it.
And I think that's because of us.
You think so?
Yeah, because it happened not too long after we got potentially busted doing it. And then they're like, well, nobody's buying it anyway. Like, I'm just thinking, like, maybe they're like, just put a wall in front of it, and if somebody wants it, we'll just take the fake wall down.
We got into so many, like, stores at the mall, too.
Oh, yeah.
Because they just left all of the little gates that they put over top of it unlocked.
Mm-hmm.
Like, almost none of them were locked. Maybe 1 or 2. And we would
We
just,
went
like...
into so many.
We would just lift up on it, like, walk around the mall, just casually go... Be like, it's open, be like... Just duck underneath.
I remember exploring the recently abandoned Cardboard Hero.
Oh, yep.
I remember exploring the recently at the time abandoned Blankets and More Rugs.
Yep. We also I think we did it to American Eagle too. Or I might be mistaken.
So. I think I vaguely remember that. I don't think I got to go in there, but I think I remember when there was the opportunity to. I remember trespassing in the where we did the 2017 Azui's in that like back room.
Oh yeah.
And then the one right next to that eventually became iRepair iTech.
Yeah.
That,
we
had the like metal gate.
We also trespassed kind of like in the movie theater. Like we found out that the back exit of the movie theater was open.
We saw that. You could hear the movies playing, and then there was that door where Little Vittles had like wrote in Sharpie the name Little Vittles because like it led to their store, and originally it said like fucking like I don't know Subway or whatever was there.
Right.
Ugh.
And I think the service exit for maybe the nail place was there too.
Yeah. I also
remember many fucking places we got into.
I just remembered being able to trespass in O'Charlie's right after they left.
Yep, that too. Where Pretzel Maker is now.
Yep. Yeah, really easy to trespass in that place. And eventually we got the right to trespass in Little Vittles after they closed and we started using their freezer. That felt like a cool experience just to be in there because it's like...
I never got to go in the Little Vittles freezer.
Yeah. You remember when our freezer broke?
Yes, vaguely.
Yeah.
Vaguely.
Well, that was my number one. I called it the Hidden Labyrinth.
Yep, that is a perfect explanation. I have some honorable mentions for this one, for sure, because it was too hard to get everything on the list.
I have one honorable mention, and it was just the 2017 Azui's.
Oh, that's a good one. I didn't even think to include that, but yeah.
I really have fond memories of it, and I loved watching the video. I tried to watch it today, and just the first 2 seconds made me so cringe that I turned it off. I'm hoping that
not
if
what
I
was
like,
expecting you to say, but kind of.
I'm hoping that if I get through it a little bit, like because I still really enjoyed it. But the one thing I want to say is like I really appreciate that Lisa Stanley came to that, and
that was really nice.
Yeah, that's the one thing I just want to take away from that is that Lisa Stanley really did come to that and sit there and participate through all of that. And God knows if she still has the Azui, but that really meant a lot to me, and especially looking back on it, it was really nice that she did that.
Right, really touching. She was a really good woman.
Mm-hmm. And that was just a really fun time too. We basically were trespassing, just went down to the mall, invited like 12 or 13 people to come down to the mall and film a video without their permission in a store that was closed.
Literally, and like that's probably something you would have to like pay for.
Right, and we just did it. And at some point, we had like people sitting out there watching, and like Eddie came up and was looking at us, and he was like, "What are you doing?" And I'm almost positive we didn't even all work there at the time. Some of us had already moved on to greener pastures.
I don't think we did.
Yeah, I worked at Assurant at the time because
we just scheduled it there.
I remember talking openly all the time about the 2017 Azuis and the lead up to the 2017 Azuis at Assurant. So yeah, we didn't even work there at the time. So I love that. But yeah, that's definitely an honorable mention.
I have a couple honorable mentions. One, the throwing the trash up on the roof, obviously.
Yes.
The bouncy balls. This one specifically, though, I don't know if I can say this one either, but I mean, it was one of the greatest things that I thought happened to me at the time, especially at the time, which was there was this one day at work where it was me, Bree, and Whitney.
Mm-hmm.
I think you might have been there too. Maybe? You might have been. But for some reason, Bree starts going up and jiggling Whitney's butt. And she's just like, man, like, oh my God, Whitney, you have a nice butt.
I remember this. Yep, I was there.
And then Bree starts like grabbing it or whatever. And she's just like, come over here and feel her butt. And I'm like, I don't know if I can do that to you, Whitney. She's just like, like, I don't really care. And I'm like, so you were there too?
Yep, I remember.
So we just walked up and we just started grabbing it. We remember giving each other this look like, I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was honestly one of the greatest things that ever fucking happened to me.
Yeah. That's an incredible honorable mention. Yep,
Thank
I
you.
forgot about it until this moment.
Oh, of course.
Loved doing that.
Yeah. Oh my God, I can't believe that.
Do you have any other honorable mentions?
Just calling them pretzel nugs.
Yeah, I loved
all the
fucking
weird
around
names
with
for
the
pretzels.
titles. I loved, and it all started out of genuine customer idiocy. General customer idiocy.
We were always just making fun of them. Subtly to their faces.
Right, they genuinely would call them the stupidest things, and then we just took it to the farthest extreme, like pretzel globes and pretzel orbs and shit like that.
Can I have the bits?
The salted buddies.
This is really random. The last one I want to talk about, but I remember just being so mad at the customers at some point, just hating them and loathing them. And this guy walks up, just completely absent-minded, like and she comes up to the fucking counter, and we're like, "Can we get you anything? You want a small, medium, or large?" Because that was the go-to catchphrase to get somebody to just hurry the fuck up. Or we thought maybe they weren't understanding how they even came. And he's just like, what do you guys even sell here? And we're like, pretzels. And then he looks over at the little hot box full of pretzels. And then he just looks back up at the menu. He's like, I don't even know what that is. I'm just like, what? I'm pissed. I'm like, how the fuck? Who is this guy? And then he eventually just walked away, just absent-mindedly walked away. Honestly, looking back, there was something really wrong with him, but looking back on it, he could have been on some sort of like, kind of seemed like he was on acid.
Right.
He was so out of it, and he's just like, yeah, that would make the most sense.
There were a lot of people. There were a lot of people that came up that smelled like just out and out marijuana, so like it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, people like I don't think I've ever smelled that much of marijuana in my entire life. So
I know.
I don't know how they managed to get it stuck to
Unless
them
they
like
were
that.
just like carrying it with them.
No, it was always like you could tell it was like smoked marijuana. Just like,
Right.
It was like they were barbecued. Anyway, getting to my number one, very interesting that you didn't mention it at all. So I actually ended up having the most unique number, Moen.
Oh.
A lifelong friend.
I didn't even consider it.
Sorry, Moen. Wouldn't Moen, though, be a really good guest to have?
Yes. Yeah.
He would absolutely do it.
He'd be a great guest to have. I would
We could
love
make
to do
any
that.
exception for him, like call in. Like call in, we'll put the phone up to speakerphone.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, my brother. Yeah, I would love to do that. He would tell so many great stories, and like I love that. I think I had mentioned this when I was home. He on like Christmas sent a photo of the board that we had made at Pretzel Maker of everybody in their Christmas sweaters, and we included Khan and Moen, and he still had a photo of it, and he was like, "You are my best friends. I love you all."
He was fucking honored to be in that photo.
I know, he's so cute in the photo too, knowing that.
Anytime we spoke with him, he would just, bobbing his head back and forth. He would be like, so you could tell he was just so happy, just like, yes. Like, these Americans are talking to me. We ended up developing a relationship with him after he moved to Lima, unfortunately. But it ended up being a Facebook relationship for every like 50 Facebooks he made, because he would make a new Facebook every week, sometimes with different names, usually just Moen Muhammad or whatever it was.
Now it's Jimmy Neighbor.
Jimmy Neighbor.
Yeah.
I bet he still has a picture of a tiger as his photo.
I think so, or like a rose. I think it's a rose. Let me see.
He's such a unique man, and anytime I think of the mall, I think of that man. Okay, Zach, show me a stethoscope.
It's a surgical glove and a stethoscope on the desktop.
Why?
That's his profile picture.
I hope he's not trying
There's
to tell
no
us something.
telling. 54 minutes ago, he said, "The light could not be there. My heart also burned. I haven't even forgotten you. I haven't forgotten you."
Maybe his wife died.
Could be.
You should message him.
Yeah, but that opens up a whole can of worms. I did talk to him on New Year's Eve, on New Year, though. He wished me Happy New Year, so we're still in contact.
What can of worms would it open? Just to see how he's doing?
I just think he'd go back to, like, messaging me every day and, like, commenting on everything. And he started commenting on a lot of Breeze stuff. I forgot to mention this. He started commenting, like, sort of, like, Republican sentiment on Breeze things.
What?
Like, it was interesting, yeah. Like, he would say things like, she would share something about, like, Joe Biden or the COVID, and he would say, like, "Ha ha ha, you are very funny, girl." Like, shit like that, and she'd be like, "What do you mean?" Like, she would send a screenshot to me, and she'd be like, "What do you think this means?" And, like, the only way you could interpret it is, like, he's laughing at you for having that opinion. Like, there's no other way, you know what I mean? Like, so, it was an awkward situation, but I missed him. Okay,
well...
We've had occasion to see him twice. We did a whole video reconnecting with him, and then when Taylor studied in Lima, at OSU in Lima, we went to the mall, and he gave her a necklace, and yeah, it was nice. It was nice to see the young man.
Well, I think that about wraps it up then.
Yeah, for sure. My the only thing that's left on my list is that there's an asterisk by number 1. It says asterisk Hidden Labyrinth. And when you scroll down to the bottom of the list, the asterisk says the real number 1 is just working with my friends.
Oh my gosh.
That's just the actual truth, though, but, what can you do?
Obviously.
Until next time, folks, stay moat, and if you're working with your friends, cherish every second.
Death to every fucking Republican.